Welcome back to another episode of TLG Live. I am Jon Nieh, one of the founding partners at Trowbridge Law Group. And today's question of the week is, what is crowdfunding? Oh. So the reason why I want to talk about this question this week is it's just been really bugging me. I've been getting a lot of calls recently about crowdfunding. People saying, hey, can I crowdfund? I want to crowdfund this real estate deal. What is crowdfunding? Can I do crowdfunding for my offering? And it's been bugging me because I feel like there's a lot of misinformation out there, and there's a lot of people out there who are using that term crowdfunding incorrectly, right? So, what is crowdfunding? Well, let's talk about kind of the history and how this term came about. And it really started with Kickstarter, right? I think Kickstarter was one of the first companies to, advertise itself as a crowdfunding website, right? And the whole idea behind Kickstarter is a company, a small company that's trying to build something, or they're a small business, right? They're trying to bring together their community, their crowd, to fund either a project or a product or whatever the case may be, right? It's to democratize the process of running a business by allowing your community, your followers, your crowd to be involved, in your company. And that's really what crowdfunding is, right? It's raising money from the crowdsourcing. But it's kind of been, manipulated a little bit from people in marketing to say, hey, we're raising money. We're using the internet, we're raising money, we're crowdfunding, when really that's not really what they're doing, right? Because, I mean, if you take it from that very general definition, is just raising money on the internet, then a lot of things can qualify as crowdfunding, right? A company that's public, that's doing an IPO, isn't that crowdfunding, right? They're raising money that's publicly available. Anyone can invest, in a group. Is that crowdfunding? Most people would say no, right? That's not really what you think of when you think of crowdfunding. So, but I think that's why a lot of people are using the term, is because it's so easy to, apply it to something else that might not necessarily be true crowdfunding, right? So when people ask me, can I crowdfund my real estate offering, my real estate syndication, I tell them, yes, it is possible. You can crowdfund, but there's only very certain ways you can do it, right? So I think when you look at it from a securities perspective, there's only really three types of offerings that are crowdfunding, right? And the first one is literally called regulation crowdfunding. And it's probably really the only true crowdfunding there is as far as securities offerings, right? So regulation crowdfunding, for those who don't know, you could raise up to $5 million now in a single year, but you have to go through a registered crowdfunding portal, right? That's a keyword, portal. So these portals are registered with the SEC or FINRA. They're essentially a broker dealer, and you are required to use them. You are required to list your campaign on their website. Some drawbacks with that, I talked about it last week. There's only so many portals out there. They oftentimes charge a fee, but it is true crowdfunding in the sense that anyone online can invest in your offering. Very similar to Kickstarter, right? Except with Kickstarter, it's a product, pre-ordering a product, versus regulation crowdfunding, where the investors are actually getting equity in the company. The other two ways you could crowdfund in a securities offering, selling equity in your company, is the second one is Regulation A. So it's similar to Reg CF, regulation crowdfunding, in that it's open to the public. You could advertise your offering online. But some of the differences, it's a much higher cap on the amount of money you can raise. So $75 million under a tier 2 Regulation A offering now. But some of the drawbacks is it's actually, there's a application process with the SEC. So a lot of people refer to Regulation A as kind of like a mini IPO. And again, going back to my point earlier, what's the difference between, doing an IPO and crowdfunding? A lot of people kind of use them interchangeably nowadays. So Regulation A, being a mini IPO, is one way to crowdfund real estate, because you could raise money online from a group of people. But again, there is a qualification process with Regulation A. It takes a very long time, and it's pretty expensive to do one. So that's why it's, people in the real estate space, real estate syndication space, don't really use it very much unless you're doing a very large blind pool offering. So that's the second way you could crowdfund in real estate syndication. The third way, the final way, and this is the one that kind of bugs me the most because I think it's the most misapplied use of crowdfunding, is doing a 506c offering, right? So back in the day, or it still happens actually pretty often nowadays, but after the Jobs Act was passed in 2013 and 506c was created, a lot of companies went out there and claimed to be real estate crowdfunding platforms. So the key difference between a platform and a portal is a platform is not registered with the SEC. It's just a marketing term, right? Real estate crowdfunding platform. And there's a lot out there. I mean, you could look it up, but essentially 506c does allow you to advertise. So you can raise money online from the crowd, right? But if you know 506c, that's not the end of it. You are limited to who you could take into your offering. So all of your investors have to be accredited, and then you have to take an additional step and verify that they're accredited. So if you think about it, I mean, it's not really open to the crowd. It's open to very specific types of investors. It is, publicly available in the sense that anyone can see the offering, and you could post it on your website, and you could advertise. So a lot of people like to claim it's crowdfunding, but you can't take everybody. If you're not accredited, you can't invest in a 506c offering. So it's not truly crowdfunding. And that's kind of what grinds my gears a little bit, is these people create these real estate crowdfunding platforms and say they're crowdfunding, but it's not really crowdfunding. Anyways, if I get a call from a prospective client asking, can I crowdfund my real estate syndication, I'm going to send them this video because it's, going to tell them yes, but no, really. So that is what crowdfunding is. True crowdfunding is Kickstarter. In our world of securities, crowdfunding is either doing a regulation crowdfunding offering, a Reg A offering, or a 506c offering. That's the answer to the question. Hope you guys learned something. Today is Thursday, so that means go tune into our YouTube channel this week. We got another episode of Gene discussing the topic that he's talking about on Tuesday. I know he's going to continue talking about it today on our YouTube channel. Anyways, go to our channel at noon today. Check that out. As always, go to our website if you want to schedule a free 30-minute consultation with either myself or Gene. Happy to talk to you about crowdfunding and why what you're trying to do is not crowdfunding. But anyways, thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you guys next week.